Well, thanks for joining this session. I'll be covering the state of the art in Agentic AI. I'm assuming a lot of people here have already attended Agentic talks today. So I'll try to cover the things which are new or something which will help us all build a state of the art. So I want to start with this slide where I want to showcase where we are in AI. I mean, where the world is in AI. So OpenAI and DeepMind define levels of intelligence. And they define sort of similar. There are 5 levels of intelligence. We are right now in level 2, between level 2 and level 3. Level 2 is about making models understand and do complex tasks. Level 1 was basically when ChatGPT came, it can talk about any topic with you. Level 3 is when you can build agents which can do complex tasks for you, not just solve a problem, not just one thing, but actually do complex reasoning. And that's where, and assistants which can do things for you. Level 4 is around being innovators. Right now, we are seeing early sign of level 4, where models are starting to generate something new, novel ideas, but very early, so we are not there yet. And level 5 is, of course, when AI behaves like an institution, like an organization, and it can sort of act like a company, can act as an HR, can act as an IT, can act as an R&D, all of that. So we are level 3 right now, close to that, and that's what I'm going to cover in today's talk. So I will not spend much time on this slide, but what is AI agents? All of us know here, and we have seen talks. In fact, just Munjal's talk was also about healthcare agents. Basically, agents which can do tasks on your behalf on any complex workflow or complex, which involves complex reasoning. But before we go there, as a human, right, if we want to have our own AI assistants, let's say if I have an assistant, but if I want to have an AI assistant, what do we want? An assistant which can order cab for me, order food for me, buy groceries, do research, and stuff like that. That's the kind of assistant we want, which does not exist right now. But the question is how to get there. Are we on track to building such agents? And that's what we'll cover today. So question is, are the current assistants or AIs, are they really personal assistant? Are they really agentic such that they can replace a human assistant? And I would say that we are seeing early signs of it. So the way I've defined AI agents is 4 types. The first one is multi-agent or multi-agent system, multi-agent assistants, which can do complex tasks, not just one. For example, a multi-agent system would be someone which can order food, order groceries, do a complex math reasoning problem for me, look into my calendars, schedule meetings, order cabs, all of that, right? So that's the true assistant which can do many things, not just one. Then there is browser-based agents. I think some of you or most of you would be aware of Manus AI. There are browsers which can browse the web and do a complex reasoning, do a task. It can take 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes to solve a task, but it can do that. That's browser-based agents. Limited in some capacity because they're not as fast as, let's say, a human would. Or let's say if I want to buy a smartphone, I will simply go on Amazon and do it in 1 or 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. But something like a browser agent which can do it, it will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and maybe it might even fail because it was not able to do transaction. So we are seeing early signs of browser agents, but they are not fully usable. They will be, but not for real-time use cases. Then there is this general-purpose AI, which is ChatGPT Gemini. These systems are intelligent. They can do one thing at a time, but they're not fully agentic to sort of book a cab for you and stuff like that. But they're really smart. They are the core intelligence level. And the fourth one is on-device agents or assistants. We know Alexa, we know Google Assistant, we know Siri. They're there, but very, very transactional, can't do multi-step reasoning and all that. But they were the early signs of assistants. In fact, I happen to build Alexa. So they were early signs of assistants. They are not great at reasoning, but good at some tasks. So this is the example of browser agents not doing well. For example, I asked Manus, hey Manus, can you book me a cab or order food? It was not able to do it because it does not have connection to APIs or payments and stuff like that. And even to get to this, it takes minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So essentially, we are seeing that AI is moving forward, but is it truly AI assistant? Is it truly something which is consumer-centric? Is it something which can actually replace my other assistant or let's say myself, the things which I'm doing? To further deep down, I want to showcase the 4 types in this category. Basically, if you look at here, Kriti is one assistant which is multi-agent. It can do many, many things. On the left side, you see dimensions, such as personalization, speed, cost, accuracy, complex reasoning, use cases. And on the right side that you see, the columns are different assistants. So Kriti is one of the things which my team built at Krutrim. We launched it last week. I will show a demo of that in the next slide. There's Manus, which I just talked about. Manus is great. It can do any task or most tasks which are on the web, but not very fast with low accuracy. But eventually, they will become fast, cheap, as well as more accurate. Still, there is inherent limitation because Manus does not have access to APIs. It cannot do transactions fully for you. Then there's Gemini and ChatGPT, as you see. They are great in intelligence. Again, they are not agentic, and also they cannot cover all the use cases that, let's say if I want to book a cab, I cannot do that with Gemini or ChatGPT. And Alexa and Siri exist. We all know them. They are simple, great at those simple experiences, but for complex tasks, it cannot do a thing. So this is Kriti, which we built. It is a multi-agent AI assistant, which can do many things for you.
They said in the future, AI would make life easy. Meet Kriti, India's first AI assistant.
Order 2 chicken biryani and a mint lime juice from Medha's.
Sure thing. Enjoy, Muddy.
Hey Kriti, take me to Koramangala Social.
Kriti, India's first AI assistant.
So this is a glimpse of what we built. It is functional. It works for almost English plus 11 languages. I would like to cover how we build this and what currently lags in existing agents as well as assistants. So to build this kind of complex system, you need an AI that knows you. It needs to have a memory. It needs to know what your preferences are. It needs to know the transactions that you have made in the past. If my assistant, a real assistant, a human assistant, would know my payments, would know I like vegetarian, would know my favorite restaurants, would know the kind of groceries, or I do groceries once every week. If these kind of information exists or is known to an AI, it will be truly personal and therefore cut down the time, cost, and help you build a great experience. Then we also leverage MCPs. So MCP are this model context protocols. These are the advanced APIs. If you want to build any application, you need to have APIs to access data, to access payments, and a bunch of that stuff. Those things don't exist. Those things don't work very well for agentic or LLM era because in the new era, you need to pass a lot of context. You need to pass information. You need to do transactions which are just beyond REST API calls. And for that, you need MCPs. It has a standard structure. There is a server, there is a host, there is a client. They communicate with multiple LLMs to make this happen. And we leverage MCP to bring different capabilities like cabs, groceries, food. Like I can have an MCP from Amazon. I can have an MCP for PayPal for payments and so on. And with those MCPs, I can bring those the holistic experience for building a true AI assistant. Then there is agent-to-agent protocols. Now, because what we have built is a multi-agent framework, you need to have many, many agents working together. Let's say if I order food, food will require an agent which can understand what you're looking for, the kind of food that you want to eat. Then you also want to place an order, that's an order agent. You also want an agent which can track your payments, make the payments, and also track your order and get it to your home or wherever you place the order. So you need multiple agents that work together. And for that, you need a protocol. I mean, it was built by Google, agent-to-agent protocol. We built that and use that to actually make multiple agents coordinate together and complete the tasks. This is the agentic intelligence that we have built. Essentially, I will walk you through an example. If I say I'm hungry, then there is this agentic intelligence which will break the task into multiple subtasks. Then MCPs are basically different API calls or different systems. It will help me order the kind of food I'm looking for, managing my order and so on. And then there's agent-to-agent protocols will manage all these agents to complete the task. And then towards the end, we have a verifier which verifies the task and makes sure that it is ordered what you actually are looking for. To bring all these things together, this is the architecture of what we built. Essentially, you have a multimodal input layer. A true agent can consume text, it can consume voice, it can consume my documents, it can consume my images, if I'm playing my order, if I want to pay my bills, if I want agent to understand my documents, my thesis, and so on. It needs to be multimodal. So we have a multimodal input layer, which consumes all the data. And then there is this orchestrator. This orchestrator takes a task and then breaks into multiple smaller tasks. As I said, in case of food, ordering, shipping, payment, and so on, so on. So it breaks that into multiple tasks. And then you have multiple agents. You have agents which can manage your computer. It can browse web. You want agent which can do coding because it might do some intelligence on the back. You also want agents to understand the files that you pass, and so on. So you have multiple agents that work together to make an experience. And towards the end, you have a multimodal output layer which generates the output. The output can be text, it could be voice, it could be reports, and so on. So this is what we built, and with that, we built the world's first fully multi-agent consumer assistant. It's also available on Play Store, Android, as well as iOS, as well as web. Please try it and give us feedback.